God says, listen, this message is for you. Don't try to skip this. God is begging you to stop whatever small, distracted thing you were about to do and open these words with your whole heart. This is not entertainment. This is not a rumor. This is a river of truth rushing toward you, and it carries something urgent, intimate, and necessary, a whisper from someone you loved who is now in heaven, and a key, a real key, to money that has been hidden, misplaced, or waiting silently where your feet have not yet gone. This message is for you. Read it slowly. Let each sentence land like a hand on your shoulder. I know the shape of your night. I know the weight of the small silences that build up between dawn and the first cup of tea. You wake with questions. You sleep with unpaid lists. You look at photographs and wonder if the photographs remember the person more truly than you do. In the quiet, there has been a nudge, a gentle pressure from the other side, not cruel, not shaming, only urgent. Remember the place. Find the place. Look where we kept the hope. God says, there are places in your house and in your life where things quietly hide. They hide in the folds of old clothes, in the notebooks with the pen still clipped, in the lining of suitcases, in the seams of prayer shawls and under the loose tile by the back door. They hide because someone thought it safe to hide them. They hide because someone believed a secret would protect you. They hide because grief distracts, and life disperses things like breadcrumbs across the days. This message is for you, the one who will find what was meant for you. Do not panic. Breathe. God is not trying to terrify you. But God is serious. God is asking you to be brave in a small, practical way. This is not a test of faith where you must leap without looking. This is a request for careful action. Start where memory is easiest. Think of the room where that person smiled the most. Think of the place they wrote letters or counted coins. Begin there. Something that once belonged to them, a box, a tin, a book, may hold the truth you need. This message is for you and only you. Don't tell this to anyone yet. Not because I want you to hide, but because some things must be found before they are shared. When treasure is found, hands and hearts must be steady. Share only after you have the thing in your hands, after you have let it breathe under your touch, after you have named it to yourself. God says, there is power in secrecy held for a season. There is clarity in discovery before proclamation. Today is the September 14th. Archangel meditation says, this is not a joke. Someone in your family who is in heaven wants to tell you something about money hidden in your home, your heirlooms, your things. Do not disregard the date. Do not assume it is mere coincidence that this message reaches you now. There are rhythms to divine timing. There are seasons that open doors. Prepare a small notebook and pen. Record every detail that surfaces. If a memory appears, a laugh, a smell, a place, write it down immediately. Memory is like a leaky jar. It evaporates if you are not quick. God says, "The money I speak of is not always folded banknotes. Sometimes it is documents that hold value, titles, policy papers, letters with instructions, bank booklets, or even an old postcard with an account number written in the corner. Sometimes it is the quiet amount tucked inside a Bible, inside a novel, inside a box of buttons. Sometimes the treasure is a promise, a debt owed, an unpaid utensil bill that becomes a chain of restitution, a wool misplaced behind a curtain of curtains." Do not limit your search to what you expect. Look with imagination and suspicion of tidy answers. God is begging you to be methodical. Begin at dawn if you can. Move with steady hands. Open drawers one by one. Lift mattresses and check the undersides. Look behind loose skirting boards. Empty jars that have been labeled odds and ends. Speak aloud the name of the person who is guiding you through memory. Say it softly as an invitation. You are not alone in this rummaging. There is help you cannot see, a gentle presence that nudges your fingers toward the right fold. Trust that nudge. This message is for you because there are practical consequences. Money hidden, found, reclaimed, it can change months of worry into months of breath. It can unblock obligations. It can be the small miracle that lets you breathe. I do not promise instant riches, but I promise that careful discovery can shift the axis of worry into action. When you find what is hidden, treat it with tenderness. Take photographs, make notes, and, if necessary, seek legal or financial advice. God says, stewardship matters. The gift is mercy, not chaos. Manage what you find with humility and prudence. Don't try to skip this by blaming forgetfulness or fate. Do not say, "I'll look another day." Another day is a path to delay. God says, take 1 hour today, one deliberate hour. Set a timer if you must. In 60 minutes you may find a lead, a receipt, a fold, a hint, that opens a larger trail. If 60 minutes is all you can give that. If you can spare 3, give more. But give something now. Delay often invites doubt and loss. I ask for courage more than time. Listen, There will be a temptation to open every chest and panic when nothing is immediately obvious. Resist the rush. A method is your friend. Start near the heart of where that person spent time, the chair with the worn arm, the bedside table with the proofs of routine, the drawer with receipts. Keep a running list of places you checked and the results. This keeps you from retracing futile circles and helps memory connect stray clues. There will be patterns, dates, handwriting, recurring nicknames. Patterns are maps. God says, watch for little signs that do not feel like signposts but are exactly that: a misplaced stamp, a napkin with a scribble, an envelope without a stamp. These small things are often the breadcrumb trail. When you find an oddity, follow it as you would follow a single thread through a sweater. Pull gently, and more of the picture will unwind. This message is for you. You may meet resistance. The house may appear cluttered, or someone else may claim a right to the place you are searching. Speak with calm. Explain from the heart. Say, I am looking for something important and personal. Ask for a corner of the day to look. If confrontation rises, step back and breathe. God is not asking you to steal or to break trust. You are being guided to recover what is yours, not to rob. If permission is required, obtain it. If time constraints prevent a thorough search today, take photographs of the areas and plan a permitted time. God says, your heart will be louder than rational hints. When you feel a tug toward a particular item, a music box, a shoebox, a tin labeled photos, follow that tug as if it were a compass needle. The dead are clever and tender. They often leave the clearest sign where the heart would lean anyway. Once you are near, be gentle. Items may be fragile. Treat old paper as if it were a bird's wing. This message is for you because there is also an emotional unburdening here. Finding a hidden thing often brings with it a memory that has been stalled in the chest. That memory needs air. When you find an envelope with an amount written on the corner, do not only count the figures. Read the writing. Let the voice in the handwriting teach you what it needs to teach. Weep if tears come. Laugh if laughter rises. These are the transactions of healing. They matter as much as any monetary sum. Don't tell this to anyone until you have proof. Saying it aloud prematurely can send ripples that disturb the very thing you hope to find. This is not secrecy for secrecy's sake, it is protection for a fragile discovery. Later, when the discovery is settled, tell the right people, those who will steward the find with you, such as a trusted lawyer, a family member known for wisdom, or a financial advisor. God says, when time comes to share, Choose those who steady you rather than those who unsettle. God says, watch for pattern dates. A birthday, an anniversary, the day they left, these can be keys. Money is often hidden on days that mattered to the hidden one. Search places associated with those dates, the box of birthday cards, the shoes kept from the wedding, the drawer where letters from a certain year rest. Date is a language used by the living and the dead. Learning it gives you access. This message is for you. Sometimes the money is not in your home but in the world outside, in a safety deposit box, an old bank account dormant for years, or a bearer bond tucked into a banker's envelope and forgotten. If there are documents mentioning a bank, an insurance policy, or a pension, follow those threads. Find account numbers, names of branches, the handwriting of the person who managed things. Bring copies of IDs and proof of relationship when you go to institutions. Institutions open for the living when paperwork speaks plainly. Don't be ashamed if you don't find anything of monetary value. Some things are not about money. Sometimes the message from heaven is a nudge to go to a particular place and, while there, to receive a different gift, reconciliation, a conversation, a piece of paperwork you didn't know existed. God says, the search itself is valuable because it stops you from sleeping through life. The act of looking wakes you up. God says, there may be pain in what you find. You may discover debts, obligations, or truths that complicate things, old loans, responsibilities passed to you unintentionally. This is not punishment. It is material that must be handled. Take advice. Reach out to professionals who can help you sort the administrative from the emotional. Remember that money can be both a healing balm and a heavy weight. Move it with care. This message is for you and your family. When you find something, consider who should know. There are times to bear joys together and times to shoulder burdens alone until they can be shared safely. God says, use discretion. If you suspect the find will inflame old wounds or cause discord, consult a neutral third party and create a plan together. Counselors, mediators, or family elders can help. You are not required to announce every discovery to every person who hears your name. Don't fool yourself with certainty. Be open to surprise. The sum you find might be small and the relief great, or the sum large and the complications complex. Both are real and both must be handled with prayer, with prudence, with paperwork. Document everything. Take photos. Create a trail of evidence so that if disputes arise later, truth has anchors. God says, obey the small practicalities. If you find documents, copy them, scan them, store originals in a safe place. If you find cash, deposit some, keep a bit for immediate needs, and make a record of the amounts. If you find a will or legal paper, consult an attorney. If you find a key with no obvious lock, do not throw it away. Keep it near the other items, often the lock appears later. This message is for you about forgiveness as much as it is about finding. The person in heaven who is nudging you may want more than your practical recovery. They may be asking you to let go of a grudge, to release a guilt that has hung like a curtain between you and life. When you find what was hidden, write a short letter to the one who guided you and read it aloud, even if the only ears are the walls and the air. Say the things you couldn't say: thank you, I'm sorry, I forgive you. God says, words offered in honest breath loosen knots. Don't be afraid of mistakes. You will not break fate by looking. You will not anger the heavens by taking careful steps. God says, you turn the page, and that alone proves you are chosen for this message. Don't underestimate what you just did. You could have scrolled away, but you didn't. That was not an accident. The hand of heaven pulled your eyes here because the message isn't finished. The spirit of the one you love is still leaning over you, whispering, don't stop now. Keep listening. The hidden truth is still unfolding. This message is for you, and I repeat again, do not tell this to anyone yet. Some things must stay sealed until the right hour. You are in the middle of something divine, a private conversation between heaven and your soul. When the time is right, you will know who can be trusted with the details. For now, guard it like treasure. God says, the money, the documents, the hidden inheritance, they are not just paper and coin. They are a bridge between the living and the departed. Someone in your family wanted to make sure you would not be left without help. They didn't want you wandering in the dark of struggle, so they tucked away a provision. But they also wanted you to work with faith to find it. That's why the path is not obvious. It requires your heart, your attention, your listening. Don't ignore this. Your dreams in the next nights will carry clues. The number on a wall, the image of a box, the sound of a drawer opening, they are not random. When you wake, don't brush them aside. Write them down before the day erases them. The Spirit in heaven is using the language of dreams to guide you. This message is for you. Do you feel the chill in your skin, the rise in your heartbeat right now? That is confirmation. You are being touched by the unseen. It is not fear, it is awakening. Heaven's way of reminding you, you are being led step by step. God says, when you search, do not rush. Listen as if the walls could speak. Stand in the middle of the room and whisper the name of the one you miss. Ask them to guide your hand. You will feel a strange pull toward a corner, a box, a bag, or a folder. That is not imagination, that is the tug of the Spirit. Follow it. Don't forget, sometimes the treasure is inside something ordinary. A cracked book. A dusty frame. A purse no one touched in years. The envelope taped under a drawer. The tin that rattles differently when shaken. Heaven delights in hiding extraordinary help in ordinary disguises. This message is for you. When you find even the smallest clue, write it down. Small clues build into maps. A slip of handwriting, a half-torn paper, a number circled twice. Piece them together and the bigger picture will reveal itself. You are closer than you think. God says, don't give up. You will be tempted to feel tired, to say, maybe this isn't real. That's the whisper of doubt trying to stop your miracle. Rebuke it. Keep moving. The one in heaven would not have sent you this message today, on the 14th of September, if it wasn't the appointed time. Don't skip this. Don't set it aside. Don't think, I'll check later. God says, act now. Even if all you do is choose 3 places and search them, that obedience will unlock the path. The hidden money, the hidden truth, the hidden inheritance, it is waiting. This message is for you. You are not reading by accident. Heaven chose this exact hour for you to receive it. And God says, keep going, keep reading, keep searching, because the miracle is still ahead of you. God says, yes, keep reading. The path widens, and now I will tell you with more precision the places and the small rituals that will help the Archangel confirm your steps. These are not guesses, they are practical pointers wrapped in grace. Listen as if the room itself leans in with you. First, the unmistakable confirmations. The Archangel will not always speak in thunder. Often the confirmation comes as a tiny repetition, a number you notice twice, the same tune playing unexpectedly on the radio, a fluttering like a page turning when no hand is there. When you reach for a drawer and feel a sudden warmth in your palm, that warmth is a scent. When a single moth or small bird appears near the window and then leaves, that movement is a small yes. Note these small confirmations. They are heaven's way of blinking the light on the correct path. Second, exact places to search now. Begin with what is private and personal, the bedside table where night thoughts are kept, the inside pocket of a coat that no longer fits, the back of a closet shelf where things were tucked in haste. Then move to transitional spaces, the suitcase that holds winter clothes, the jewelry box with loose clasps, the old handbag at the back of a cupboard. Do not skip the ordinary utility spaces, next to the iron, behind the sewing kit, inside the box of batteries, under the false bottom of a tin labeled buttons. These are common hiding places because they feel inconspicuous to the living. Third, objects that speak louder than maps. Search any book with a title the departed loved. Open it at the crease and turn to the margins. The handwriting of the past often rests like a comma in the binding. Old recipe boxes, ledger books, and address books are repositories of memory and sometimes of numbers. A grocery list with a number in the corner, do not dismiss it. A postcard with a bank branch scrawled on it, follow that branch. A checkbook tucked behind a photograph, follow the numbered sequence. Fourth, the language of materials. When you handle old paper, listen to its edges. Dry paper cracks like a night wind, folded paper hides its secret in the fold lines. Metal containers will carry the faint scent of their last contents, leather will remember the weight of coins. Use your hands like gentle diviners. When you lift a box and it feels heavier than its size suggests, open it carefully. The archives of a life are tactile. Your fingertips will often notice what your eyes initially miss. Fifth, how the Archangel will mark the right item. There will be a small, simple sign, a matchbox turned the other way, a coin placed as if to point, a handkerchief folded differently. These are intentional interruptions in habit. When you see the routine broken, a towel out of place, a curtain pinned differently, take that as a guidepost. The heavenly guidance is practical and loves the ordinary. It nudges the everyday into being new. Sixth, the method of searching. Work in quadrants. Choose one room and divide it mentally into 4 areas. Complete each quadrant before moving on. This keeps you honest and thorough. Use a small notebook, and beside each quadrant write what you checked: shelves, drawers, under furniture, inside containers. This creates a map of effort and prevents the replay of frustration. Seventh, how to read a handwriting clue. Handwriting carries rhythm. Look for repeated strokes, numbers circled twice, initials underlined. These tiny emphases often hold meaning: an account number, a date, a hint to a branch name. If you find partial numbers, write them down and try possible permutations later. Banks and institutions often use specific sequences that can be recognized when the fragments are laid side by side. Eighth, when you find a lead but not the whole thing, leave a breadcrumb. If you find a hint, a torn corner that matches a ledger, an envelope that mentions a branch. Attach a small sticky note and photograph it. This keeps the trail intact. Do not throw away partial evidence. Partial evidence becomes whole when gathered with patience. 9th, the angelic confirmation through other people. Sometimes the Archangel will use a stranger, the clerk who calls you back about an old policy, the neighbor who remembers a small detail, the friend who suddenly mentions a number in passing. When someone says something that syncs with what you have found, note the exact words and the date. These human confirmations are part of the ledger heaven keeps to help you prove what you find. 10th, practical legal steps before celebration. When a financial or legal document appears, stop. Breathe. Photograph it. Make 2 copies. Do not sign anything under pressure. If the document names you or suggests an entitlement, contact a trusted legal advisor before transferring or spending any significant amount. The heavenly nudge gets you to the treasure. Human prudence ensures it is stewarded rightly. God insists on both wonder and paperwork. 11th, handling resistance and complication. If someone claims the item or disputes your finding, remain steady. Show documentation of where you found it, photographs, and the notes you kept. If conflict escalates, seek mediation rather than argument. Heaven will help you find the truth, but people must be guided back to peace with care. 12th, the ritual of confirmation. When you sense you have truly found what you sought, mark the moment with a small, private ritual. Light a candle, say the name of the one who guided you, and offer a short prayer of thanks. This consecration ties the practical recovery to the sacred lineage it came from. It is a way of honoring both the deceased and your responsibility. 13th, when numbers appear in dreams. If you receive a sequence in sleep, write it down immediately and compare it to any partial numbers you have found. Dreams often supply the missing digit. Do not treat dreams as superstition, treat them as encrypted notes, helpful, but to be verified. Cross-reference dreams with physical evidence before acting. 14th, timing and patience. Some doors will open quickly, others will require repeated gentle pressure. The Archangel respects human time. If today yields only a clue, trust that tomorrow or next week the clue may inform a fuller discovery. Keep your notes organized and your faith steady. 15th, what to do with sudden offers of help. If a relative or acquaintance offers to help search, accept if their presence steadies you. If their motives feel rushed or secretive, suggest a small, supervised session. Trust the inner sense that distinguishes helpfulness from haste. 16th, when the find is a paper pointing to an outside institution. Bring identification and proof of relationship. Ask the institution for a written list of requirements and follow them precisely. Keep copies of every communication, and record names and dates of everyone you speak with. The bureaucratic path is the highway to solidifying what the heavens reveal. 17th, when you feel overwhelmed, stop and sit. The Archangel honors rest. A short prayer and a deep breath reset your clarity. Return to the search with a renewed calm. Exhaustion hides clues, calm reveals them. 18th, gratitude and distribution. When the find is confirmed and the practicalities are handled, let generosity be one of your first instincts. Even a small gesture, a meal shared, a donation in the name of the departed, a quiet thank you to someone who assisted, will honor the circle that produced the find. 19th, record keeping as legacy. Create a small binder labeled with the date and title of the find. Place inside photocopies, photographs, notes of who assisted, and your plans for stewardship. This binder becomes a legacy for those who come after you. 20th, the Archangel's final whisper for now: do not let the search become a chase. The difference is this: a chase is frantic and blind, a search is steady and prayerful. Let your hands be guided by faith and your head by prudence. You are both beloved and capable. The heavens delight in your small practical acts. God says, continue. Keep the map you are making. Follow the signs. When you need more specific directions about a particular item you find, a bank name, a number fragment, a location, bring that fragment here and I will help you assemble it. For now, trust the process, search with method, confirm with care, act with wisdom. The angel walks beside you, and the path is being made as you step.